Eastern counties. Enhanced risk kind of lining up along 65 mostly and off to the east. Baseball to maybe even softball size hail. Certainly possible today, and a few tornadoes will be possible as well. Right now, we are looking at just some showers and storms in our northernmost counties. Morgan County right here has a flash flood warning back over until 1:45 today. Significant amount of rain falling in this area, but right now nothing severe aside from that potential for some flash flooding. As always, turn around, take an alternate route if you do run into a flooded road. Heading into the afternoon, still looking at some showers and thunderstorms throughout lunchtime in our northernmost counties. Severe threat goes up around 4-5 p.m. today as these storms fire off and continues into the evening hours. All severe threats looking possible, and we'll continue to see this threat going, I'd say, until around 11 p.m. tonight, and then quieter as we start tomorrow morning off with some more storms tomorrow afternoon. That'll time out coming up soon. Severe storms for parts of the area. Another risk tomorrow for some severe storms as well for just a few of you. I'll talk more about the severe threats hour by hour and when everything wraps up tonight, coming up next. Weather day today. We have more storms developing heading into the afternoon and evening hours. That will very likely be severe for some of you. Right now, though, a few showers and thunderstorms in our northernmost counties. These posing more of a flooding risk right now over towards Versailles, heading over towards Eldon. And we are looking at maybe a little bit of lightning within those storms, but they'll likely stay below severe limits over the next 2 hours. Our severe storm threat today, though, goes up this afternoon. Level 4 moderate risk for severe storms clipping from Marys County through Texas and Shannon County. However, don't get too caught up whether you're in the red or the orange. The severe threats are going to be the same today, and that's going to be some massive hail possible, maybe even upwards of softball size in some of these storms. And then over in our westernmost counties, that risk is going to be a little bit lower, but you still could see maybe a severe thunderstorm or two. Now heading into the afternoon, still by 3 o'clock, maybe some showers and storms clipping some of our northernmost counties. But our severe threat, I'd say, begins around 4-5 p.m. today with storms developing out ahead of a cold front. This is 5 p.m. These storms producing very likely some large hail and the potential for a few tornadoes as well as we head into the evening hours. 7 p.m. storms mostly south of I-44, and then heading into some of our southeasternmost counties around 9 p.m. clipping into northern Arkansas as well. With the severe threat winding down, I'd say around 11 p.m. in some of our far southeasternmost cities, and then we'll be dry for the later half of the night tonight and early tomorrow morning before another wave of some showers and thunderstorms works its way into the area tomorrow afternoon. Now, some of these could be severe back in far southern Missouri and northern Arkansas, producing maybe some large hail again, but that tornado threat will be much lower heading into the afternoon tomorrow. Then by the evening hours, still some pockets of heavy rain, and we'll see a few showers and thunderstorms still north of the interstate. This is 6 o'clock here. We'll look at maybe a few showers into the early hours of the night and then drier heading into Wednesday. But today is the only first alert weather day now. We are looking at extreme instability, I would say, heading into the afternoon and evening hours with this system. That means these storms have a lot of energy to work with, to grow and develop, and are capable of producing that very large hail and maybe some tornadoes. I don't want to rule out maybe a tornado being on the stronger side either. This is 3 o'clock. A lot of instability covers much of the area. By the evening hours, I'd say maybe a little bit more south of I-44 than what it shows. Certainly the greatest, though, here in south central Missouri, north central Arkansas. And then by 11 p.m., instability goes down. And tomorrow, I think we're really just looking at some decent instability in northern Arkansas to produce maybe some large hail. But our severe threats today are certainly not low. We are looking at damaging winds, potential for softball-sized hail, and of course, a few tornadoes as well. Tomorrow's severe threat level 2 slight risk here in far southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. Temperatures today, it's warm, it's very humid. It kind of feels like a severe weather day. We'll be in the 80s for highs this afternoon, and then tonight overnight lows dropping back into the low to mid 50s for many, some upper 50s in northern Arkansas. Looking at a level 4 out of 5 level threat for some of our easternmost counties this afternoon. Level 3 enhanced risk lining up along 65 and off to the east. Up to softball size hail possible today. Damaging winds and a few tornadoes will be possible heading into the afternoon, stretching into the evening hours. Right now, nothing severe, but we do have a bit of flash flooding reported back over in Morgan County right here. Fortunately, rain really starting to wrap up in some of our northernmost counties. This flash flood warning goes until still 1:45 today. So certainly some areas back in northern Morgan County, it could be dealing with a little bit of flooding right now. Heading into around 2 o'clock, this model wants to produce maybe a few more showers and thunderstorms in some of our northernmost counties. I'd say the severe threat really begins heading into around 3-4 o'clock. The difficulty in today's forecast today is what we call a cap in place that tries to limit storms from developing. And so the question is, when will that cap break? And as soon as it does, those storms will fire off quickly. They will become severe, and all severe threats will be possible along this boundary heading into the evening hours. By 7 o'clock, these storms still potentially severe south of I-44. I'd say the severe threat wraps up around 10-11 p.m. tonight, and then we'll start tomorrow morning off dry. It's warm, it's humid, it feels kind of like a severe weather day. Right now we're in the upper 70s to low 80s, and I'll talk more about this system this afternoon and another severe threat tomorrow coming up soon. Thanks. Today, we're tracking severe storms possible heading into the afternoon and evening hours. Right now, though, looking mostly dry. We do just have a few showers and thunderstorms clipping back over into some of our northernmost counties over towards Camden-10. Just a little bit of rain and a little bit of maybe some rain back over towards Gravois Mills. Right now, nothing severe. We do have this flash flood warning going until around 1:45 today for northern Morgan County, but you're drying out right now. Level 4 moderate risk for severe storms today clips some of our easternmost counties, extending back up towards St. Louis, Poplar Bluff. This is obviously not a low risk. Level 4 out of 5 for the day today. Level 3 enhanced risk looking to be mostly east of Highway 65. This afternoon, all severe threats will be possible. Now, heading into around 3-4 o'clock, I think that's when we start to see maybe some of the first storms begin to fire off. Very likely beginning in some of our western, northwesternmost counties, and then continuing to grow in coverage just a bit heading into the evening hours. This is 5 o'clock. Storms lining up close to I-44 in time for the evening commute. So before you head home, make sure you check the KY3 weather app to make sure your path is looking clear, because all of these could be severe. Then by around 7 p.m., mostly south of the interstate, and then by around 9 p.m., storms mostly here in south central Missouri and northern Arkansas. I'd say the severe threat wraps up around 10-11 p.m. for us, and then overnight after that, quiet. Tomorrow, another chance for maybe some showers and storms. Some could be on the strong to severe side, with hail the primary threat tomorrow. And then we'll watch these storms tomorrow afternoon, mostly in far southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. We'll see maybe a few showers, isolated thunderstorms still north of the interstate, but the severe threat not quite there. And then by 4 p.m., still mostly south of I-44. We'll be watching for some storms in the evening hours. A few thunderstorms still scattered across the area before wrapping up late Tuesday night into the day Wednesday. So here's a look at our instability that we are tracking. Into the afternoon today, we are looking at very high instability bubbling up this afternoon for these storms to work with, and they will very likely grow and develop rapidly. These will be fast storms producing all severe threats, and with instability this high, the potential for some very large hail as well heading into the afternoon and evening hours, potentially up to softball size. By 7 o'clock, I think most of the instability still mostly here in south central Missouri, down into north central Arkansas, and then wrapping up heading into around that 10-11 p.m. time frame. Before tomorrow, we look at another little wave of instability riding into parts of northern Arkansas, far southern Missouri tomorrow. That could produce maybe some large hail. But today's severe threats, all severe threats, softball sized hail like I mentioned, 60-70 mile an hour winds possible, and it's obviously not a low tornado threat for the day today. A strong tornado will be possible as well. Tomorrow, severe threats going to be mostly hail, far southern Missouri, northern Arkansas, and then further off to the north, not really looking at much in the way of a severe threat for now. Today it's warm. Temperatures are going to be in the 80s, above average. Will likely be in the low to mid 80s before the rain and storms arrive. Tonight, lows will drop back into the low to mid 50s for many out the door tomorrow morning. And we are tracking some cooler air that moves on in by the middle of the week. Tomorrow, kind of right around average. And then this upper level trough swings through and it cools temperatures down for much of the region for the later half. Across the region, I want to jump in right now to this line of storms back over, moving through Illinois, heading into Indiana, but also crossing the Missouri state line into Illinois right now, where there is a tornado warning right now for St. Louis. This goes until 1:15 today. A look, this would likely be around University City, the Country Club Hills, likely just passing by, I should say, Maryland Heights, crossing 67, and then heading mostly north of downtown St. Louis, but still the potential for a tornado. A little bit of rotation with this right here. Once again, that tornado warning goes until 1:15 today, and this is just the beginning. Severe threat this afternoon is a level 4. Moderate risk for severe storms today. There is a severe thunderstorm watch in place off to our east. It looks like the Storm Prediction Center is potentially about to issue a tornado watch that would include parts of us here in the Ozarks. So here's that level 4 moderate risk today. Includes the eastern half of the Ozarks up towards St. Louis, down towards parts of the Boot Heel today. It's not a low tornado threat either this afternoon, and some very large hail. Tomorrow, large hail are likely threat. Level 2 slight risk covers almost the entire state of Arkansas for your Tuesday. And regionally, here's what we're tracking temperature-wise. Bit cooler in parts of northern Missouri south of a warm front. You can kind of see that warm front situated right around here, so that tornado warning very likely right on the edge of that warm front. And south of there is what we are looking at this afternoon as the potential for a decent threat for severe storms today. To our north, temperatures cooler, back in the 40s and 50s in the Dakotas today, 93 in Dallas, 78 in Atlanta, and we'll talk more about our storm threats this afternoon, specifically our tornado threat coming up here in just a bit. Today, like I've mentioned, the tornado threat is not low, and it looks like there's about to be a tornado watch coming out that will have the particularly dangerous situation tag on it. That's the potential for a large tornado. The potential for an EF3 or greater will be possible heading into the afternoon. That will be east of Highway 65, especially in this yellow and red you see right here. The potential for maybe some strong tornadoes heading into the rest of your evening. So once again, it's a first alert weather day today. It is certainly an afternoon. You have to stay weather aware. This could turn nasty quickly over the next couple of hours. Yesterday was a first alert weather day. We saw numerous severe storms as well regionally. 293 severe storm reports, significant amount of hail. Here in the Ozarks, we saw significant hail yesterday, and we had several tornado warnings as well. Right now, none of those have been confirmed, but we'll be on the lookout, I'd say, over the next couple of days, because the National Weather Service is going to be pretty busy today watching these storms this afternoon and evening to potentially verify the storms for yesterday, and very likely some that we'll have heading into the evening. But there were a couple confirmed tornadoes with spotters on these storms back over in Kansas and Oklahoma yesterday. We saw baseball-sized hail yesterday back over towards El Dorado Springs and between Humansville yesterday, around Humansville. And we'll look at the potential for maybe some softball-sized hail heading into the afternoon and evening today as well. Areas along and east of Highway 65. It's the potentially dangerous situation tornado watch going until 9 p.m. today. Be sure to download the KY3 weather app. You'll be the first to know about any warnings issued for your area heading into the afternoon and evening. Softball-sized hail that could obviously cause some major damage, and a strong tornado will be possible. We do have a level 4 out of 5 levels. Moderate risk for severe storms today. Enhanced risk highlighted, you see in orange, kind of along and east of Highway 65. Massive hail, damaging winds, and a few tornadoes could be possible heading into the rest of the afternoon and evening hours. Currently nothing severe, but we're watching some storms closely off to our North. Severe thunderstorm just clipped parts of northern Morgan County with some large hail. Not severe around Cole Camp, but some very heavy rain, and a storm popping up now just south of Osceola. Would head up towards Warsaw right now. Not severe either over towards Sarcoxy. Thunderstorm right there south of Greenfield. We'll watch these storms closely. Some large hail certainly possible, and that potential for a tornado or two this evening. By 5 o'clock, storms kind of lining up from Miller County, potentially down through Greene County, just in time for the evening commute. So be sure to check the KY3 weather app before hitting the roads this evening and down into northwestern Arkansas. By 7 o'clock, mostly in our eastern counties, back down towards Harrison, north central Arkansas. And then I'd say the severe threat kind of winds down around 10 p.m. today, and we'll continue to look at quiet weather after that into sunrise tomorrow morning before we see a few more storms potentially tomorrow afternoon. Temperatures very warm, 87 in Harrison right now, 82 here in Springfield and Camdenton. We'll continue to see temperatures cool off though for the remainder of the week. We'll talk more about the timing for storms again this evening and a severe threat tomorrow coming up soon. We are looking at a level 4 moderate risk for severe storms, and a couple new severe thunderstorm warnings just issued. I'll talk more about the threats and when everything wraps up tonight coming up next. Up towards Mount Vernon and eventually back up towards Halltown and Republic. So this producing up to around tennis ball size hail right now. You can see the hail core right here highlighted in that pink. A lot of lightning, and this is crossing I-44. So people driving along I-44 are going to be hit with some pretty large hail on the interstate right now. Further off to the north, the hail isn't as large, maybe around quarter size to potentially golf ball size, back up towards parts of, we'll say, south of Warsaw over towards Fristow, right here north of Hermitage into parts of Benton County. We are looking at maybe some large hail there, some gusty winds. This severe thunderstorm warning goes until 5 p.m. today. Severe thunderstorm watch highlighted in pink. We have a tornado watch highlighted here in yellow. Both of these going until 9 p.m. today. We're watching thunderstorms capable of producing that massive hail and the potential for maybe a few tornadoes over the next couple of hours and into the early part of the night tonight, but we aren't looking at a full overnight severe threat. By around 5 o'clock, just in time for the evening commute, I think storms will be crossing I-44 and Highway 65 here around Greene County, back up into some of our northern, northeasternmost counties, like over towards Miller County, parts of Camden County, and into northwestern Arkansas. And then around 7 in south central Missouri and northern Arkansas, with I'd say the severe threat wrapping up by around 10 p.m. tonight. And then we'll be dry to start tomorrow morning off, but the potential for maybe a few more strong to severe storms tomorrow afternoon. Wind and hail, maybe still some large hail tomorrow, will be the primary threat here in far southern Missouri and northern Arkansas. This is 3 o'clock. These storms look pretty nasty. I also think some very heavy rain could be possible south of the interstate as well. But even still north of the interstate, a few thunderstorms. I don't think severe though. Heading into the evening hours, still scattered storms tomorrow. It'll just be kind of on and off for the day, but the best coverage south of the interstate. Now today, severe risk level 4, moderate risk for severe storms highlighted in red. Level 3 enhanced kind of along 65 and off to the east. We'll continue to watch a lot of instability for these storms to work with over the next few hours. We are looking at very high instability, and so large hail, a few tornadoes. We'll continue to watch that threat though go down by around 10 o'clock, and then tomorrow early morning, quiet. A little bit more instability builds tomorrow afternoon, especially in northern Arkansas, but I think this could be a little bit further north, extended here into parts of southern Missouri as well. So severe threats today. Certainly not a low tornado risk. It is a decent risk for us, and we could see an isolated tornado on the stronger to larger side. It only takes one massive tornado to cause some big damage. So we'll be watching out for that threat this evening. Hail certainly over 1 inch in diameter. Once again, up to maybe baseball to softball size. South of the interstate tomorrow, level 2 slight risk highlighted in yellow, and we are looking at some large hail, maybe around golf ball size tomorrow. Temperatures this evening staying warm, upper 60s to mid 70s at 9. Lows tonight though will be a little bit cooler for some in the upper 40s further to the north, mid 50s further south, and highs tomorrow Will vary from the upper 50s, maybe even in some spots in our northern counties, to low 70s back around Harrison as our pattern begins to shift. Tomorrow we're kind of in between cooler and warmer air, but cooler air does move on in heading into your Wednesday through the rest of the week, with temperatures actually dropping below average for this county. This storm producing massive hail right now, around tennis ball size, heading into Greene County, northern Christian County right now. It just passed Mount Vernon, and we are getting pictures sent in of at least tennis ball size hail having passed Mount Vernon. Here's the hail core right here just south of Halltown, about to head directly over towards Republic. This will likely be just south of Elwood. You are included in this severe thunderstorm warning, maybe some small hail, but this will head over towards Republic right now. Very large hail, potentially into parts of central southern Springfield, around Galloway, and then eventually over towards Rogersville. Ozark also included in this severe thunderstorm warning, potentially some large hail in your area as well. You are on the southern tip of that severe thunderstorm warning, and I do think the hail core passes just north of Clever. But severe thunderstorm warning, very large hail pushing into Greene County right now, just in time for the evening commute. Many on I-44 right now getting hit with that large hail. I'd say around Battlefield 5 p.m., Springfield 5:09, if not sooner, and over towards Rogersville at 5:23. Estimates show that potential moving through, crossing I-44 from Sarcoxie through Mount Vernon, showing that potential for tennis ball size hail. Once again, this is heading over towards Republic right now, and we are looking at the potential for tennis ball to baseball size hail within some of these storms over the next couple of hours, maybe even up to softball size. Looking at that severe thunderstorm moving on in, it produced very large hail, tennis ball size in Mount Vernon. Right now, look at Republic, that hail core about to move right overhead. It looks like some very heavy rain coming down, maybe some potential hail mixing in here. It's a little bit difficult to see from this camera, but potential for some very large hail moving into Greene and Christian County. So be sure to download the KY3 weather app. There is also the potential for a few tornadoes over the next several hours as well. You'll be the first to know if any watches, warnings are issued for your location, and stay tuned for KY3 News at 5 and we'll have more details. 30 minutes. We now have numerous severe thunderstorm warnings now issued for very large hail. There's another one popping up back over in Morgan and Miller County. Let's take a look at these four right here, back from Dallas County, southern Polk County. Nearly all of Greene County covered in two severe thunderstorm warnings. These going until 5:45 today. The one that just passed Mount Vernon produced up to about tennis ball size hail. It's passing through Republic right now, and then one just north of Springfield over towards Ash Grove. Then just south of us, we are looking at Aurora. A severe thunderstorm just passed through Monette, producing some large hail. Also going until 5:45 today, heading over into northern Stone and also into Christian County. I do want to say this severe thunderstorm moving through Greene County right now also, and I should say northern Christian County, also has a tornado possible tag on it. So I want you to treat this like a tornado warning. And if you are here in Greene County from Springfield all the way down into Ozark, I do want you to take shelter right now. Massive hail, but a potential for a tornado. So that's the most interior room of your house, putting as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Once again, a tornado possible tag. This storm is trying to rotate and it could produce a tornado quickly. Here's a look at Republic right now. Visibility in the last 5 minutes has gone down significantly, and we are looking at some very large hail potentially passing through this area right now as well. So over the next couple of hours, we are tracking storms by around 7 o'clock, quickly working their way over into some of our easternmost counties. I'd say the severe threat wraps up by around 10 o'clock today. We'll talk more about these storms and another threat tomorrow coming up.
Thank you, Danielle.
Pattern showing very active storms right now. The cap, the lid in the atmosphere is certainly broken, and we are looking at storms firing off and nearly all of them becoming severe almost immediately, producing large hail, damaging winds, and there is still the potential for a tornado. I want to take you into maybe two of the strongest storms we're seeing right now. Back over, just passing through Monette. Another hail core just passed through Aurora, heading over towards Hurley and eventually over towards Highlandville. And then I'm concerned about this storm here in Greene County, here in parts of southern Springfield, down through Fremont Hills. I do want to take just a little bit of a closer look because there is a bit of rotation within this storm. There was a tornado possible tag on it. It is trying to rotate, so I do want you to treat this like a tornado warning if you're around Fremont Hills and back over towards Rogersville. I want you to be on alert. I want you to just head to your shelter just in case we do look at a quick tornado popping up with this. Right now it is broad rotation, so I don't think there's an imminent threat for a tornado to be causing damage, but it is going to be a potential. Some rotation with it, and certainly some large hail. A nice hail core. We just heard hail slam the KY3 roof here, heading over towards Oak Grove Heights. This would mostly be south of Stratford, heading over towards Fordland next, back over into Webster County. Now, there is a tornado watch in place until 9 p.m. today for the counties highlighted here in yellow. Severe thunderstorm watch in pink. The potential for very large hail, tennis ball, baseball size, maybe even within a very strong storm up to softball size this evening. By 6 o'clock, storms lining up from Marys County back over towards Rolla, down through Branson into parts of northern Arkansas, and then heading into 7 p.m. still in some of our eastern counties, still maybe around Harrison. And I'd say the severe threat wraps up around 10 p.m. today, and then we'll rest easy overnight tonight. Tomorrow, though, another chance for maybe some storms that could be severe. We'll wake up quiet in the morning. By your afternoon, we'll feature kind of another wave of storms that could produce maybe some large hail and some gusty winds as well. I'm continuing to watch chat behind the scenes if you see me looking, because I'm waiting for the potential for some more storms to be added to this mix. But tomorrow afternoon, south of I-44, we are looking at large hail, maybe around golf ball size, damaging wind gusts, and then some very heavy rain could also lead to some localized flooding. Then by Tuesday night, we'll wrap things up and then quiet for the rest of the week. Level 4 moderate risk for severe storms. These storms are moving right now into an atmosphere really primed and ready for these storms to move on in and for them to pack a punch. Once again, softball size hail, damaging winds. We've had an extreme amount of instability today bubbling up underneath a cap. And now that cap has been broken, all of that energy just rises and these storms become very large quickly. Instability goes down around 10 p.m. Then tonight, once again, no problems at all. Then heading into tomorrow afternoon, instability goes back up here south of I-44. Large hail, the primary threat. Level 2 slight risk for severe storms from West Plains down into northern Arkansas. And we'll see temperatures a little bit cooler. This evening, it's warm, it's humid. We'll be in the 60s and 70s at 8, 9 o'clock. Upper 40s to mid 50s by 6 a.m. tomorrow. And then tomorrow afternoon, cooler for many. Some even in the upper 50s for highs north of I-44, 70s further south. And a cooler weather pattern takes shape for the later half of the week, especially felt by Wednesday all the way through the weekend. Now, it's not going to be well below average for many, but certainly some cooler days back in the low to mid 60s Friday, Saturday. Severe, producing large hail and damaging wind gusts now up to 70 miles an hour. That rotation looking a little bit more broad heading into Webster and Wright County, looking to be just really strong gusty winds up to 70 miles an hour. That'll still cause a lot of damage and the potential for maybe some large hail in there as well. Large hail back over entering into northern Stone County, southern Christian County. And then we also have a new severe thunderstorm warning heading over towards Shell Knob, back along Table Rock Lake, eventually heading over into Branson, looking at the potential for damaging winds, some large hail. Selignan under a severe thunderstorm warning as well. Further off to the north, Miller, I should say into Marys County, some very large hail just passed through Eldon and will continue to track off to the east, Lebanon, and back over into southern Dallas County. So a lot going on. Be sure to download the KY3 weather app and stay